Picture this. In the shadowed halls of a Roman palace under the flickering light of oil lamps, Emperor Caligula watches his guests at a lavish banquet, their faces flushed with wine and unease. Then, with a capricious laugh that echoes off the marble walls, he rises and commands the senators to bring forth their wives and daughters, parading them like common prostitutes before the assembled elite. The air thickens with scandal, whispers turning to gasps as the night descends into chaos. Or consider Nero, the golden-haired tyrant, slipping silently into the opulent chambers of his mother Agrippa, their forbidden embrace a web of incestuous desire that would later unravel into poisonings, rigged shipwrecks, and ultimately her brutal murder, all to bury the echoes of his own twisted passions. Are these fevered visions from some salacious Hollywood epic, scripted for shock value? Absolutely not. These are the raw, unvarnished truths drawn from the annals of history, the very scandals that shook the foundations of the Roman Empire. Welcome, fellow seekers of the past, to a journey into one of antiquity's most tantalizing enigmas, the world of sexuality in ancient Rome. I'm your name, your guide through the veils of time, and today we're peeling back the layers of forbidden desires, depraved emperors, and a society's unspoken rules that blurred the lines between power, pleasure, and peril. This isn't just a recounting of titillating tales, it's a deep dive into how sex fueled the rise and fall of an empire that shaped our world. Prepare to be shocked, enlightened, and perhaps even uncomfortably reflective about the echoes in our own era. Let's step through the gates of Rome, where every toga hides a secret, and every laurel crown conceals a vice. If this piques your curiosity, smash that like button now, and subscribe for more unfiltered historical deep dives. We've got empires to conquer together, to truly grasp the sexual undercurrents of the Roman Empire, which sprawled from the misty isles of Britannia to the sun-baked sands of Egypt, from 27 BC to AD 476. We must first understand the societal bedrock, a fiercely patriarchal world where masculinity wasn't just a trait but a currency of dominance. In Rome, sex was never merely an act of intimacy, it was a ritual of hierarchy, a mirror reflecting one's status in the grand theater of life. The great chronicler Suetonius, in his scandal-soaked asterisk, the 12 Caesars asterisk, boils it down with brutal candor. Roman sexuality revolved around the penetrating power of the freeborn male, where he thrust his authority, quite literally, determined his virtue. The active penetrator, a conqueror, embodying the virile Roman ideal akin to Mars himself. The passive recipient, a figure of ridicule and disgrace, evoking the defeated foe on the battlefield. This wasn't abstract philosophy. It permeated every stratum of society, from the sweat-drenched Suburra slums to the perfumed villas of the Palatine Hill. Flash back to the Republic's austere dawn, those formative centuries before the emperor's iron fists tightened. Here, sexuality served the sacred duties of *pietas, *familial piety, and state propagation. Marriages were less about fluttering hearts and more about forging alliances, with brides entering under the stern shadow of *patria potestas*, their father's unyielding legal dominion that extended even post-wedding in some unions. Women, those enigmatic guardians of the hearth, were vessels for legitimate heirs, their bodies policed by customs as rigid as aqueduct stone. Extramarital dalliances for the pater, tolerated, even expected, provided they didn't sully the family name or produce bastard claimants to inheritance. But for wives, adultery was a chasm of shame, punishable by divorce, disgrace, or worse, vigilante justice from jealous husbands wielding the paterfamilias right to execute. Then came the imperial pivot, a seismic shift as the Republic crumbled under civil wars and ambitious Caesars. Augustus, the wily architect of empire, sensed the moral rot seeping in from conquered Greek and Eastern lands, those libertine philosophies of Epicurean pleasure and Dionysian excess that threatened Rome's stoic core. In a bid to reboot the demographic engine, he unleashed the Lex Julia in 18 BC. A legislative thunderbolt aimed at curbing adultery and promoting fertility. Adulterous women faced exile to rocky islands like Pandateria, their dowries confiscated. Men, lighter fines, but public humiliation. Unmarried or childless adults over 20, tax penalties to prod them toward the altar. It was a top-down crusade for virtue, etched in bronze tablets across the forum, but oh, the hypocrisy. Augustus's own daughter Julia became its infamous poster child, banished for her alleged orgies that scandalized the elite. Yet these laws, for all their pomp or selective weapons, emperors and their kin danced above the fray, their indulgences shielded by divine aura. As we'll see, this chasm between edict and excess would widen into an abyss, swallowing reputations and thrones alike. Daily life in Rome pulsed with a pragmatic sensuality that belied the lofty rhetoric. For the average plebeian, sex was as routine as a trip to the thermocommunal baths, where steamy air mingled with flirtatious glances and the occasional illicit tryst in shadowed alcoves. Prostitution, far from the shadowy vice of later Christian scorn, was a bustling industry, woven into the urban fabric. Estimates from historians like A.J. Marshall suggest over 35,000 lupi she-wolves, so named for their street-howling solicitation, plied their trade in the Eternal City alone. Brothels, those infamous lupinaria dotted the landscape like lupin dens. Cramped, multi-roomed affairs in insulate tenements, their entrances marked by phallic lamps to beckon clients. Excavations at Pompeii, frozen in volcanic ash, reveal these dens in vivid detail. Frescoed walls, advertising services with cartoonish vignettes of positions from the mundane missionary to acrobatic feats that would strain a gymnast. A quick tumble, the price rivaled a loaf of bread or a jug of cheap wine, making carnal relief as accessible as a market stall. And the clientele. Senators in disguise rubbing shoulders with laborers, all equal in the dim glow of those red-lit portals. Slavery, that grim engine of empire, cast a longer, darker shadow over Roman era. Slaves were captives, debtors, chattel, or bred commodities were race, mancipi things to be owned, not people with agency. Masters held use vita necessisc, the right of life and death, extending to unchecked sexual dominion. A household verpa or puella might warm the cubiculum, at whim, their consent irrelevant in a system that viewed bodies as extensions of property. Freeborn children enjoyed scant protections. The Lex Scantinia of 149 BC slapped fines on molesting elite youths, but for slaves, the floodgates remained open. Archaeological whispers, like the poignant graffiti in Pompeii, "I have buggered many a girl here," hint at the casual brutality, while literary barbs from Martial and Juvenal paint a society inured to exploitation. Yet, amid the inequity, flickers of humanity, some slaves formed contubernia, unions, de facto marriages, yielding children who might one day earn freedom, a sliver of hope in the chains, but no exploration of Roman vice crests higher than the emperors themselves, the apex predators of this sexual safari, whose excesses read like a catalogue of human depravity. Let's begin with Tiberius Claudius Nero, the reclusive successor to Augustus, reigning from AD 14 to 37. Paranoid and he fled Rome's prying eyes for the azure seclusion of Capri, transforming the island into a hedonist's Elysium. Suetonius, ever the gospel-monger, regales us with tales of Tiberius's spintry or Minno's nuble youths schooled in aquatic arts, diving between the emperor's thighs in piscatory frolics or suckling at his breast in puerile mimicry. Denator, during a ritual sacrifice, Tiberius allegedly violated 2 boys atop the altar, silencing their cries by snapping their legs like twigs. The Senate, that toothless lion, averted its gaze. Tiberius's legions ensured obedience. His reign's twilight saw Capri's grottos echo with the whimpers of the unwilling, a prelude to the paranoia that would drown Rome in blood. Enter Gaius Julius Caesar Augustus, Germanicus Caligula, 2 histories sneer-crowned in AD 37 at 24, his early promise curdling into madness. Little Boots, so dubbed for his childhood soldiers Caligay, swiftly eclipsed Tiberius's lurid ledger. Suetonius claims he prostituted his sisters Drusilla Livilla, Agrippina the younger in the palace, pocketing fees like a pimping landlord. Caught abed with Drusilla, his favorite, the scandal scorched Rome's moral fabric. Caligula's banquets devolved into bacchanals, senators coerced to watch their wives auctioned for the night, or forced into incestuous pairings for Nero, that lyre-strumming arsonist of AD 54 to 68, elevates the pantheon of perversion to operatic heights. Tacitus's Annals a masterpiece of restrained outrage, unveils the emperor's Oedipal vortex, whispers of carnal congress with Agrippina, his scheming mother, who birthed him to claw the throne. To ascend, Nero orchestrated her demise, poison foiled by emetics, a collapsing shipwreck survived by her iron will, culminating in centurion's blades on a stormy beach. Yet his appetites evolved. Enamored of Poppaea Sabina, the perfumed siren, Nero's rage birthed tragedy, a petulant kick to her pregnant form, snuffing out their unborn daughter. Grief, or guilt? He sought solace in Sporus, a comely youth resembling Poppaea, whom he castrated and wed in lavish ceremony, dubbing him my queen. Eyewitnesses like Suetonius describe Nero parading Sporus in drag, consummating the union amid public fanfare. The Great Fire of 64 AD, which razed swaths of Rome, Nero fiddled. Nay, he recited verse atop the Palatine, allegedly doubled as backdrop for orgiastic revels. The emperor cavorting amid the flames, his end, cornered by revolt, theatrically self-slain with a dagger, intoning qualis artifex, "What an artist dies in me." Nero's saga isn't mere prurience. It's a cautionary opera on how absolute power transmutes desire into destruction. Nor were the consorts mere spectators. Imperial women wielded Eros as a scepter. Valeria Messalina, Claudius's voluptuous bride from AD 41 to 48, earned eternal infamy as Rome's premier nymphomaniac. Suetonius spins a yarn of her nocturnal escapades. Disguised in a flaxen wig and cheap stola, she'd haunt the Saboras, outlasting a veteran prostitute in a 24-hour endurance bout 25 paramours. By tally, her audacity peaked in plotting Claudius's overthrow for her lover Silius, a wedding staged in the emperor's absence. Dawn brought her doom. Praetorians dragged her to the gardens of Lucullus for the headsman's kiss. Agrippina the Younger, Nero's matricidal matriarch, mirrored the malice alleged to have schooled her son in forbidden arts. Trading flesh for favor in a court where beds were battlegrounds, these femmes fatales remind us, in Rome's zero-sum game, sex was strategy, a blade honed for ascent or assassination. Why did these tempests erupt from the throne? Power, that great intoxicant, eroded restraint, like Tiber on Capra's waves. Emperors apotheosized themselves. Augustus deified Caligula, demanding worship blurring mortal bounds. Gods cavorted freely. Jupiter's philandering was legend. Priapism, divine. The populace, starved for spectacle, lapped up the libel via graffiti. Caligula, fuck off, scrawled in Pompeian satiric verse, fueling a feedback loop of notoriety. Yet beneath the froth, systemic rot, Praetorian corruption, senatorial sycophancy, and the empire's sprawl, breeding isolation. Sexuality became symptom and salve. A frantic assertion of vitality amid existential dread. Rome's legal lattice, for all its contradictions, attempted to lasso these lusts. The asterisk Lex Julia asterisk set the templatory asterisk adulterium asterisk a capital affair, with women exiled, paramours flogged, husbands empowered to kill but enforcement. Patchy as a gladiator's scars, emperors like Domitian 80-81-96 wielded it vengefully against rivals, while Hadrian's 80-117 edicts curbed male slave pederasty, deeming passive roles emasculating for citizens. Punishments scaled savagely: incest, merited banishment, or the arena's beasts. Vestal virgins, those celibate sentinels of Vesta's flame, faced entombment, alive for Dalian Serlus agony, in subterranean vaults. As in AD 19, when 3 were interred for temple trysts, prostitution, pragmatically, was regulated. A Caligula tax, ironically named, funneled shekels to the aerarium. Male asterisk pueri delicati, asterisk joining the roster. The asterisk Lex Alia Sentia asterisk of a D4 sweetened manumission for loyal slaves. But sexual servitude lingered, a loophole wide as the Forum. By the 4th century, as Christianity's cross eclipsed pagan laurels, Theodosius I's edicts, AD 390 criminalized brothels, branding sodomy, asterisk, stuprum asterisk, yet vice, like the Tiber, persisted subterranean. Laws mere paper tigers before human hunger. Homosexuality in Rome defies modern binaries. It was praxis, not persona, spectrum of acts, judged by optics of dominance. Freeborn men could penetrate slaves, foreigners, or prostitutes without stigma. The asterisk fututor, asterisk role, affirming phallic prowess, pederasty Hellenic import, flowered among the elite. Mentors guiding ephebic youths in symposia, blending eros with education. Plato's asterisk symposium asterisk echoed in Latin salons, but flipped the script. The asterisk pathicus asterisk passive adult male invited scorn as effeminate asterisk Cinetus asterisk mocked in graffiti and juveniles, satires as wide-assed weaklings unfit for legions. The asterisk Lex Scantinia asterisk 149 BC fined freeborn pederasty, though enforcement waned. Women's same-sex leanings, shrouded in silence or slur marshals' epigrams lampoon leses with strapons, but sapphic whispers likely thrived in gynocentric spaces like Bonadi writes. Emperor, ilagabalas, ad 2-1-8-2-2-2. That Syrian sun god import, shattered norms, self-castrated, he wed a charioteer in bridal veil, demanding senators hail him lady. Assassinated at 18, his queerness branded the dynasty's decadence, yet it spotlights Rome's fluidity gender as performance in the imperial mask. For women, Rome's sexual script was a gilded cage. Matrons navigated asterisk matrimonium cum manu, asterisk husband's yoke postnuptials, their asterisk stola, asterisk a badge of fidelity. Divorce asterisk divorcium asterisk was straightforward, no fault, asset split but adultery, scorched reputations, birthing bastards barred from inheritance. Lower echelons birthed the asterisk, lupi asterisk, nocturnal sirens ululating from Lupercal arches, their trade a lifeline amid penury. Elite intrigue favored asterisk concubinae, asterisk kept women in discreet domus, echoing imperial harems. POMPEIIs, artifacts tantalize, ivory asterisk, dildoi asterisk, carved phallic, olive oil as lubricant. Positions chronicled an asterisk LUPANAR, asterisk murals over 100 variants. From tender asterisk asculum asterisk kisses to vigorous asterisk imputicum asterisk rear entries. Weddings climaxed in asterisk prima nox asterisk, the groom's ritual claim, often bloodied sheets paraded for honor. Festivals fused faith and flesh, Lupercalia's naked youths flogged maidens for barrenness, banishment. Blood-mingled fertility rites under February's wolf moon. Phallic *Fashnam amulets warded evil. Priapus gardens bloomed with oversized members, sex as a patropaic shield. Gladiators. Those scarred Adonises ignited fantasies. Noblewoman bribed Lannister for arena status be damned. Messalena's nocturnal Colosseum crawls a case study. In summation, the Roman Empire's libidinous labyrinth wove powers warp with desires weft, scandals felling Caesars, laws limning limits, yet passions perennially defiant. From Tiberius's tidal pools to Elagablus's embroidered excesses, these tales transcend titillation. They interrogate authorities, erosive edge, taboos, tenacity. Today, as we grapple with consents, contours, and consent's conquests, Rome murmurs, sexuality, eternal polity, ever the empire's unquiet heart. Which outraged most unnerves, youth-matricide masked as ardor, or the throne's transvestite twilight? Spill in the comments. Your voices fuel the forum. Next, we storm Rome's bloodiest battlefields. Till then, fare thee well, subscribe, ring that bell, and let's keep unearthing the past's pulsing veins.